On sait qu'on ne peut pas vivre bien et en bonne santé dans une planète malade, et il n'y a pas de vaccin face à une planète malade. Mauvaise nouvelle. S'il y a une mobilisation collective, et si nous arrivons à recréer une dynamique vertueuse, un cycle vertueux, les effets accélérateurs sont là.
And what we find that it's perhaps especially crucial during the times of the pandemic to focus on the environment, on nature. It might seem that it's a luxury that we can afford after we emerge from the pandemic, but actually the opposite is true. It's even more critical to focus on nature, not only because by protecting nature we protect the benefits that people and economies get from the nature, but we also find that investing in nature-based solutions can be a quite effective way of providing well-being, providing jobs, providing livelihoods, and that way actually help economies recover from the pandemic.
Nature-based solutions have been around for a long time. So in that context, on ground, it's not nature-based solution, it's just a solution. It's just a solution. And because it's something that's been practiced for a long time, not only in our area, but if you go to many other areas around the world, to the communities, to the traditional areas, to the indigenous peoples where they are, nature-based solutions are often just the average, than the normal solutions. That's just the solutions that are there.
Nature-based solutions, we heard from the panel, is a supplementary mechanism to help us to save nature and to avoid runaway climate change. But it should be coupled with respect for rights of indigenous peoples and ensuring that the customary tenure and land rights of indigenous peoples are respected. A better model would be to partner or to act in solidarity with indigenous peoples. So when we do that, we're able to find out what the priorities are of indigenous peoples, and we would be able to align nature-based solutions activities or projects with the self-determined priorities of indigenous peoples, and that's a much better approach.
We're not talking only about fencing or protected areas in the old way of putting a fence around an area and not letting any people come in. That's not the sense of a nature-based solution in the way that we're thinking about it and pushing for it. It's more precisely that more holistic way of offering solutions that come from nature that are also good for people and for livelihoods.
Recovery from the COVID means reboot our economies. If we invest in nature, we create jobs for people that are working with nature. At the same time, we create nature. We create value for nature. And these will give us long-term benefit.
There's a very strong support for including green issues into recovery packages. One way of making that happen is to provide evidence, to make a compelling case that including nature into economic recovery packages is good economic policy. It makes common sense.
Our government have invested until now 17 trillions of taxpayer money. These are the authorities that have to reflect how to use this money in favor of nature.
Then it's a really important moment for the conservation community. In part, this moment of greater acceptance of nature at the heart of the economy, it probably reflects the pandemic and how everybody has come to realize how vulnerable we actually are as society, as humans, as economies, if something goes wrong with the nature. So to me, this seems like a watershed moment, and we look forward to in some ways playing our role in making sure that this moment for nature is not just a short moment in time because of the pandemic, but we can actually make it move straight into the heart of economic planning, economic evaluation, economic policy.